Hey everyone, Shane here with RVs of America, or ROA Off-Road. I am excited to share with you today the full, in-depth, detailed tour of the all brand new 2022 Conqueror. This is the urban escape vehicle. That's the UEV-490, and this is brand new. If you come and put in an order with us or come and buy one from us, this is what you're going to get. I'm going to be walking through this, so grab your popcorn. This is going to be a long, in-depth, detailed tour. We do have a shorter, I think about 10 to 15 minute tour. You can click below and go and check that out if you're just here for fun. But if you're seriously interested in this camper, this is going to be the tour for you, is because we're going to go into crazy amounts of depth. But the first and foremost thing that I want to talk about, why we're so excited about this camper, is because look where it can take you. Look at this. We are on top, well, back east you would call this a mountain, but out west we call it a hill. But it is about 200 to 300 feet elevated above this little valley below, and you can see there's all of these campers and trailers down below. This is BLM, and we came to the top of this hill because we're the only ones that actually can. It is pretty scary to actually get up here. This road, we have some footage of us trying to get other trailers up here. It's kind of our test hill. Okay, before we get into too much detail, I want to talk a little bit about RVs of America, ROA, and Conqueror, who we are, where we come from, and how we've connected together, because it's important to understand some of these things. First of all, if you're new to our channel, welcome. If you know us, you're subscribed already, thank you so much. ROA, if you've been following us, we have been pioneering the off-road camper industry in America. We've been some of the first people to import off-road trailers from overseas into the United States, from Australia, from now Africa. We've been working with companies out of Europe even, not here yet to be determined, but we have been bringing campers, large trailers, going off-road in through Moab, all over the place. So we first and foremost here at ROA Off-Road are off-road enthusiasts, and we're campers. We're users of this equipment and these machines. Like, we're not just sitting these on a lot and trying to sell them and reading the specs. We actually use these. I have now personally, since we've synced up with Conqueror, I've put 2,000 to 3,000 miles on these Conqueror trailers already. Really excited about this brand and this product. Now, who is Conqueror? They're originally from South Africa. They've now been in business over 30 years. And a lot of people actually believe or say that Conqueror has inspired the entire off-road industry, not just here in America, but even in Australia. You know, some of the big names in Australia, they've only been around for 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. Conqueror has been around longer than all of them. They first started out as a military production company, and they were building this equipment for the military. Around 95, they went into the civilian sector and started building campers and caravans for leisure and fun. But staying true to who they are, they've built them military tough. They are very rugged, very strong. We've already been taking these things off-road, and you'll see all of that footage. We're gonna keep on rolling out a lot of neat things. Conqueror has some exciting new product lineups that are going to be coming out in the next year or two. I can't disclose too much of that, but we're really excited about this brand. Here at ROA, RVs of America, we don't bring on a new brand lightly, because we want to stand behind the product and we use it and make sure they're good products. Because here at ROA, when you buy a camper from us, you actually become a roamer. It's a community of people, of adventurers, people that like to go off roads. We do a lot of activities with people that work with us, the roamers. You know, we have roamer adventures, we have the roamer rally. We do a lot of neat things for our people, and it's not a transaction here at ROA. When you buy a camper from us, it's a relationship for as long as you own that camper. And because of that, it's so important for us to stand behind products that we feel good about, that we know the manufacturer will warranty and cover and stand behind. And we want them to be good quality, because our rule here at ROA, our sales coaches, the guys that you call in and talk to about these things, we always say, hey, is this the type of person that you could go camping with? That's the question we ask all the time. And you know, if you're not building a good quality product, or if we're not selling a good quality product, we would feel ashamed to come camping with you, right? So we really, really want to be able to stand behind the product. And there's no reason at this point for us to not stand behind the Conqueror. It is an incredible camper. One of the things that makes ROA Off-Road unique from any other place that you could potentially get this camper, besides all of the roamer community and the roamer adventures, is the experience to customize your camper. Now, since we're users and we're taking these off camping and I'm using them, we find a lot of things that can be changed. Now, we know this is a great trailer and they've been being built for a long time, but no trailer is perfect for every single person. There's always little things that you could do personally. Now, if you go out and get one of these campers anywhere, usually it's just a transaction. They want you to buy it and get lost, right? Here at ROA, because we want to have a relationship for life with you, you know, we like to customize these campers and make them unique for you. So as I go through this tour, I am going to point out some things that I love, but also some things that I don't love, some things that I think can be improved, some things that we here at ROA have actually modified to make the experience and the ownership even better for these. Now let's get into the specs of this trailer. Let's talk about weight. Now there are some variations with weight. You can not take all your canvas with you. We have some modifications where we delete the air conditioning, the stock system, and put in a 12-volt system that will shed maybe 50 pounds. You can change the stock AGM batteries to stock lithium batteries, which will also shed 50 to 100 pounds. But coming in at the factory, we're 3,859 pounds. The total all length, and this is from the spare tire to the hitch, the tip of the hitch, is 17 feet and 9 inches. The box length is just about 12 foot 2 inches. Now the front bed does fold out and you have more space on the inside. It feels very roomy, so it feels a lot bigger than a 12-foot box trailer. The lowest point for ground clearance is around 12 inches, and that's the shocks. Most of the body from the ground to the actual frame is 17 inches or higher is your lowest point. So running down the center of the trailer, you're about 17 inches at the lowest point possible. The width of the trailer is 6 foot 7 inches, so that's going to track a little bit more narrow than on a standard vehicle or a truck. So it's really nice for the off-road trails. The height of the trailer when it's shut and in transit is 7 feet and 4 inches. Now you do have adjustable airbags that can raise it and lower it, but this is going to fit in most standard American garages. Most standard garages are around 8 feet. Some have shorter garages, but that's not the most common standard garage in America. So you are going to be able to actually park this in your garage and get it out of the elements, out of the weather, and it's going to last forever. This thing is constructed to the point where it's going to last forever no matter what, but it's nice to be able to have it in the garage. When it does open up, it's 9 feet, and the ceiling height from the floor to the highest point, which is the grab handles that lift up the trailer, is 6 foot 8 inches. So if you're very tall, you will not be hitting your head. Now the bed sizes, it's really important. The main bed that folds down where the main table is, a standard queen is going to be 60 by 80, and this is 77 long by 66 wide. So a little bit wider. It is very comfortable. I don't like to say I'm a bed snob, but I am very picky about my beds. I don't sleep very well unless I'm on a comfortable bed. Most campers do not come with a good bed. Conqueror does come with a good bed. And it's so frustrating how so many manufacturers don't figure this out. The reason why you're buying a camper is for a nice, comfortable bed. And they've done that. They've succeeded in here. There's another bed, the pop-out bed up front is going to measure around 60 by 62 inches. So the width of a queen, but shorter. So if you have 3 kids, you can put them up there in a row. This is designed for 4 adults or 2 adults, 2 kids, or 3 kids, depending on how comfortable you guys are sleeping together. But it definitely has a very good sleeping arrangement. You put the outside curtains and walls on it, you can make this into your palace wherever you want. Okay, now that we have talked about the specs of the trailer, which is really important, I'm gonna first talk about towing and then start showing you some of this stuff. Like I said, 3,800 pounds. That's dry weight. When you load it up, it depends on how much you're loaded up, but it can go over 1,000 pounds worth of cargo capacity. Now, I have personally towed this loaded with a Jeep Gladiator, and it tows phenomenally. I mean, we pull it up to a top of a hill. That's not easy to get to. This is a pretty rugged road to get up here. We've off-roaded it in Moab with the Gladiator on a Jeep trail that's rated 6 with ice, so I think you could probably add a point for ice and maybe a point for trailers. Let's just say it was a very hard trail, so very, very capable to be towed by most mid-sized trucks. We've towed it with Colorado, we've towed it with a Toyota Tacoma. The Tacoma definitely struggled the most out of all of them, but other than that, it still was fine. And we're talking off-roaded, loaded for camping, right? We've gone out with full water and full cargo, and it's done just fine. Obviously, the bigger the truck is always the better. That's the rule of thumb. But we do have a lot of experience towing it with various different things. So now let's talk about the kitchen setup. I love this kitchen. It's really cool, very convenient. This nice stainless steel. This is the Dometic. The model is the P1822. It's a dual burner. Last night we were cooking bacon, sausage, eggs. It worked really well. This one's higher BTU output and this one's a little bit lower. Lots of storage. And what I love about this is it comes standard stocking all of the stuff in here. Check this out. And really nice heavy duty latches. I've seen some of the older videos where they have these little twist latches and they look kind of cheap and cheesy. These are quality high-end latches that are actually going to hold this door in really, really well. But come take a look at this. You have your I think these are considered whiskey glasses. It's not real glass, they're plastic, but they do look nice. There's your wine glasses. You have some nice, these are actually pretty thick for your coffee or tea. Nice glasses. You have a party. You get lots of dishware. So let's come down into here. I love this drawer. It is so cool. This is my favorite part. You got your little steak on the barbie. You can stab your meat. You have everything in here and it fits just so nicely and tight. You got spoons. You don't need to buy any of this. It's all set up and ready to go. Knives. You even have cutting knives, steak knives. You have spatulas. You got the whole works. Now this plate actually does slide under here, so it's secured in traveling, but I did want to show you at the sink, everything's kind of well thought out. These fit nicely in the sinks, so when you are washing your dishes, it actually is designed for everything you see here. Really, really well thought out. I love the water system because it's all connected. There's no quick connects, there's no hoses that you gotta punch in or anything. The water is, you just pull the thing out, you turn it on, and you get hot water. It's an on-demand hot water heater. I'll get over to that in a bit and talk more about that. Hot and cold. At first I was a little, I didn't know about these buckets because some trailers, they have a nice sink and it drains down, but you're dealing with connecting a hose and trying to run it out somewhere, or some of them just go straight down and you got to put a bucket or you got to dig a trench away from it. This is so cool. Look at this. I grab this and I just walk over here and easy peasy. What I really like though is you're not wasting a lot of water. As you're waiting for the hot water to come in, you can throw it in here. So when you're cooking and cleaning, you can constantly be using this water, and then you can wash your dishes in it, and you're not like dumping water on the ground and just wasting it before it's just, for water conservation, it is really good. Now, speaking about water, 39 gallons of water. It does have a space for 2 jerry cans, which could add an additional 10 gallons of water, or 1 water and 1 fuel, whatever you want to do with your jerry can setup. Now you do have to plug in the stove over here. That's the only thing you do plug in, but it's really, really easy. Just a quick connect and disconnect right here at the main trailer. Very, very simple to use. Over here at the fridge, it is the IceCo. This is a 60-liter IceCo. It's dual zone. You do lose a little bit of space when you go with the dual zone, just because you have that separate compartments plus the dual motors to get them at different temperatures. You could option with a bigger fridge if you got rid of the dual zones. I like the dual zones is because you can have freezer or fridge, and this is really sufficient for a long expedition in the safari or wherever you're headed. There's a lot of different options out there. I've used IceCo and I've had very good luck with it. We also have other fridge options out there, Dometic, SnoMaster. We love SnoMaster, we use a lot of those. But this is what comes stock with it, and I think it's a great fridge. No need to necessarily upgrade. Moving over to here, we have the positive air pressure system, and you just engage that on when you hit the dirt road. And what that does is it sends air in and creates this positive air pressure where dirt can't come in. It's pushing the doors and everything out through all the cracks, so there's no way dust or dirt entry is going to come in. Even without this, I've noticed it's very well sealed. Automotive seals all around the doors and the compartments. It does seal very, very tight. Last time I power washed this, I was purposely spraying at the doors and the cracks to see if I could get water into it, and I didn't get any water that I noticed anyways, but I was pretty hard on it too. Now I love these clips too, how this all opens up. Let me show you the door. You have a nice light here. You also have lighting up on the awning. You'll see we had that on at night. It creates a very nice ambience. This comes out and there's a little clip right here. And all these are lockable too, just so you know. Everything is lockable. They're double latches, so it's just gonna hold it in place when you're off-roading a lot better. And this right here comes back and it clips in right there. And you have some extra little cargo space. We got rags here, all kinds of stuff. You could put extra food. There is so much space to prep here. Let's pull this stair down and show you how that works. This is one of the most robust steps I've ever seen on a trailer. Now I'm gonna head over to this table area, the pantry area. This thing has so much space. You know, last night I was cooking dinner for 5 fairly hungry dudes, cooking the food there, so I'm out of the fridge, using the sink. I was coming over here, I was dicing, I was throwing it into the grill, and I love this. Everything has a purpose. There's dual purpose even for some things. This is the table that goes inside the trailer, but you can pull it out during the day and you can use it as prep space. You can put stuff here. There's also another table inside that duals as a wall that you can pull out and you can use it as a camp. So last night we were literally eating, using the table from inside. We were using the wall that turns into a table over there. We were all sitting down around the table eating our food, and it's really cool. It has this canvas set up where it covers the table and you can put little gear and stuff in the pockets. But coming over to here, the pantry space is enormous. Like, you have so much space in here. There is a light at night, so you can kind of see what's going on here. I really like that it's accessible inside or out. So you can put your snacks and food and you can get them outside, or when you're inside at night and it's a little chilly. By the way, it's actually been, since we've been up here, we've been here for a few days, and it's been 30 degrees every single night. So we've actually dipped below freezing. We have an upgraded heater that we put in here at ROA, and that thing is like, it got too hot actually at night. I had to turn it down. I started with little blankets from coming in and then ended up peeling off the blankets. But it was really nice when you're inside, you can reach in and grab your snacks. Tons and tons of storage. This thing has more storage than you will ever know what to do with. Nice quality filling canvas. And now some people might say, you know, that looks kind of cheesy or cheap. I mean, if it's good enough for the military, I guess it's good enough for us. This is the ultimate camper, and it's very purpose driven, and it works. It really functions well. You can put everything in, and it's very versatile. Down here, I want to show this little compartment door. This is where we put our pots and our pans. It does come up even higher if you have the table out of the way, but we have huge pots and pans. This is also where I put the sink bowls when we're traveling. And it comes down and it latches nicely right here. And all the sills are just phenomenal. You also have your USB outlets right here, which we've had my cell phone right here pretty much all day, plugged in right here, charging. Okay, now walking back over here, this awning is huge, by the way. It covers everything, and it's almost 360 degrees all the way around. Now, it doesn't go all the way to the front, but it comes standard with this entire awning. It's amazing. I've seen that some of the original ones, this stuff didn't come standard. This is like a bat wing, almost 360 degrees all the way on each side in the back. Walls come standard, so you can actually put the walls. We'll go around and we'll show that side set up in just a little bit with the lighting at night. And it got pretty windy. Like I said, 30 degrees last night, and this side was freezing, and you walked around to the other side where all the walls were put in, and it was like a lot nicer, much more bearable back there. But I want to talk a little bit about the build of this Conqueror. It's all rivet bolted and anodized aluminum. Anodized aluminum is much more superior to just standard aluminum, and you get a lot of trailers with aluminum. The anodized is much stronger, and it's more durable, and it's gonna last longer. Over here, we have a 50 amp plug, and you might think that's huge, but the nice thing about this is they sync everything up where you can install a larger inverter charging system. You don't have to be limited, because we have trailers in the past where they're all 30 amp. This is a little overkill for this trailer, but the 30 amp, you know, you get limited if you're going to be plugging in things like blow dryers, running the air conditioner at the same time, and charging the batteries. Right? The 30 amp definitely limits. Now you can reduce it down to a 30, no problem, but I actually like that it comes standard. We have a little TV antenna back here. Coming into the back area, this thing is sexy as can be. It does come standard with a mud and snow mud terrain tire, and it is the 285/75, and it's a 16-inch aluminum rim. One of the cool things about this trailer is it does come with an actual hub assembly back here. If you ever had a issue with your hubs, you have the whole set here. It's not just a spare tire, which is neat. Up here, and these come standard, you actually have these track tie downs. So you can put some gear up here, but you can actually mount it down with these little guys, and they push in and they just lock in right there. There's also some inside along the sides of the floor, so you can mount all of your stuff and really securely hold everything together. Here is your jerry can holders on each side. Those will fit a 5-gallon jerry can. Over here too, this is the little switch that turns on your awning lights. Now I want to show you something really cool about the stabilizers that I've never seen before on a trailer like this. Typically, if you do have jacks, it comes with like a tool, right, where you got to just crank down the jacks. Most people that have been camping a few times get a drill and then they drill them. This, you don't need anything. This is so cool. Check this out. So that pops down like that, and that thing falls, and then this goes up, and you just turn this around, and that locks in right there, and boom. If you want to put this pin through, which you should, you put that in right there. Okay, that's your stabilizer jack. So if you get somewhere and it's windy and the trailer's moving a little bit, pop that out. This comes down like this, turn your foot around, and you just get it nicely on the ground where you want it. This comes around, and depending on the height, right, you slide it in. There's all these little grooves right here. You can slide it into these. And so if it's right there, that's a little bit too tight, so you got to go up a little bit higher, and you slide it in right there. Let's go one more up, and you just push it, and it's pretty easy to push, but that lifts the entire trailer. This thing is so sturdy right now. It just kind of lifted it up a little bit, took the weight off the tires a little bit, and just stabilizes the whole trailer. Really, really cool system, and so easy to use. Since we're down here, let's talk about the frame, the chassis, and the suspension. Now the chassis is, of course, hot dipped galvanized steel. If you don't know what that is, it's most standard American trailers do not do hot dipped galvanization because it's just more expensive, and everybody's cheap when it comes to the US trailer industry. Galvanization, it does add a little bit of weight, but essentially what it is, they dip it in a hot molten bath of zinc, and that adheres to the steel and it prevents corrosion and rust. Galvanization can last up to 100 years in the harshest conditions. I mean, like along the beach, oceans, sea, salt, sand, all that stuff. Galvanization is what you see on telephone poles, freeway signs, chain link fences. It's designed to prevent corrosion. A standard steel frame, you're going to see corrosion happen instantaneously. As soon as it's forged and put into the atmosphere, it starts to corrode and rust and break down. Galvanization does not. So very, very good for longevity of the camper. The suspension, it is a control arms, A-arms. It's independent suspension. Over 4 inches of travel up and down. It has 2 gas shocks. They are made in the US of A, those shocks, and the airbags are awesome for leveling, awesome for the comfort of a ride. It is the whole system is Airbag Man. They use Firestone airbags, and the limiting straps are like a strong heavy-duty nylon rope like you would see with a tow strap. Your 12-inch brake drums are more than enough when it comes to braking this trailer. They're an Alco brake drum, and those are very high-end and very reputable in the off-road industry. Also have a sway bar. This thing tows phenomenally. I cannot express that enough for highway towing. We have towed this a lot on the highway. It tows so good. And it's not just because of the tires and the sway bar and all of that, but it's the balance. The overall manufacturing of this camper is really phenomenal. 30 years, being in business, well, that would make sense, right? Unfortunately, some don't get better, they get worse, but Conqueror truly has designed this around really good towability. No AC on the roof, so you don't have heavy weight up top. The inside, the batteries, this is really cool. They're actually positioned towards the front, just the front of the wheel wells. But normally you're gonna see campers and they stick all the batteries together, they mount them, they tie them together. It's really easy, less wiring. It's easy for manufacturing. The Conqueror has actually put the batteries on each side of the camper. One on the front of the tire over here, the other one over here. And you see those little design features throughout the entire trailer. The way the water tanks are, the geometry of it is just makes sense. They put the weights of things like the water heater over here, the kitchen over here. So you see a lot of balance happening in the trailer. And that's why it tows so well. They've thought this out. We had a manufacturer that we dropped recently. They would put the batteries at the back of the trailer, in the back corner of the trailer on one of their models. And that trailer would just wag all over the place. When you put weight towards the back of a trailer, it creates more wagging. It's really why it's so important for us to vet the manufacturers and go through the campers, because we want to make sure we're carrying products that are not just good quality, but safe to tow. Conqueror tows really well. Now, I want to move over around here. The water fill is over here. Once again, for the 39 gallons of water. It's over this way. This is a wall. This comes down. This area you can make into like a playroom, a little square playroom, get it all closed in so the kids can hang out back here. You can make it into like a bathroom area, whatever you want. This wall is just Velcroed up. We put it up so we could walk through here. Come check out this amazing area in here. Okay, this area is pretty awesome. It's huge. Like, you have so much space, and if you go all the way around it, it's just phenomenal, right? You have these nice windows, you have a door right here that you can go out, you can close this up, get out of the sun, give you a lot of shade, the walls. If you're going somewhere for a week and you want base camp, this is the ultimate base camp. This is a little shower house that I have, just cheap shower house that I bought. I want to show you kind of how this is set up because it's really cool. Now, the shower system is right here, hot and cold water, all on demand. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the mods that we do and talk about that water heater. But this is kind of the whole entire bathroom setup. We got toilet paper holder right here. You know, just lots and lots of storage for anything you need, all right here. You can actually fold up and put towels into here. But I just have it hanging just because I actually showered this morning. I'm feeling fresh. But I got all my toiletries and everything. This closes up and it's just a really cool little area. Shower right here, right? And you just turn it on and there it is. It's easy to use, easy to function. You can hook it up in here too, get it out of the way. But I want to talk dirty to you and go in the bathroom. This part of the tour is talking dirty about the toilet. Now, toilet options, because when we go out camping, we know we want a nice bed and a nice toilet. We talk about how we're off-road camper authorities and we have some of the best trailers out there. We also know a lot about toilets. We talk a lot of crap all the time at our facility about which toilet is the best. We compete. Some toilets burn poo. Some toilets turn your poo into gardening fertilizer. This is called the Wrap-On. This is a very cool toilet. I love this toilet. The camper does come stock with a little cassette toilet. Personally, I think this toilet is one of the coolest toilets. It's a Japanese company. They're just really easy, convenient. It's just a bag. You put some coagulant into it. You go to do your business. It drops the bag, disconnects it, really easy. But there's a lot of different options out there for toilets. This is a very small, compact toilet option. And this is how we do our business out in the woods in our Conqueror. Now I want to talk a little bit about what's behind the shower. So I'm going to move it out of the way and show you that. We just took down that entire shower thing and we actually put it in this little storage compartment. It looks really teeny, but it actually fit all the poles in that entire shower, and we didn't even fold it. We just kind of shoved it in there. We can actually fold it later, but we're just kind of going through this. Lots and lots of storage, and everything is lockable, has a little clip to lock. This is the Fugatti. This is an on-demand water heater. Personally, not a huge fan of these. That's like a trend right now in the off-road industry. We're probably just is to blame for that, because we did find some cool ones and started installing them. The more and more we've camped and used them off-grid, we've realized to have a tank is much better. The reason why is because when you turn this on, I can show it to you as an example. You know, it's really easy. You turn the hot water on, and if you can hear this, wait, it's cold, 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 cold. It's engaged, it's turned on, but it's still cold, still cold. Now it's starting to warm up. Still kind of, okay, there you go. Now it's warm, but see how much water I just wasted? I just wasted tons and tons of water. And then when you turn it off, it completely turns off again, right? And then you have to pretty much do the whole cycle again. So you're gonna get cold water again before you get hot water, and you waste all that water all over again when you're showering. Now over at the sink, you can put it in the buckets and that's okay. Showering, not very good. So at ROA, we've already done this where we've pulled them out and we've put in a smaller 6-gallon hot water heater, and that's really good, is because you pump the water in there, so you're traveling with that 6 gallons of water, a little extra water, and it, you know, you can turn it on and off, because the hot water comes all the way through the lines and stays right there, and you can, you know, get yourself wet, lather up, and then rinse yourself off. It's really easy without having to wait for that hot water to engage. So definitely you'll want to look into doing that if you are trying to go off-grid as long as possible and conserve your water. Luckily at ROA, we do those things for you. Right here, you do have a USB, little ports, plugs, and then this goes up here, and this just kind of winds in, and you stow it away, and everything is sealed really nicely on this entire trailer. I've seen some cool setups where they have like quick disconnects with longer hoses. That's not standard for the 2022. Coming right here, you actually have some jacking points. This is for like a high lift. You can slide it in there and jack up the entire trailer, right? If you ever had to change your tire for whatever reason, you have that. Low range G tires, you should be pretty good and hopefully never having tire failure, as long as you're checking the PSIs and always keeping them relatively new. Every 5 years you want to replace your tires, no matter what. 4 to 5 years, depending on how particular you are. Lights all the way around. Besides the awning lights, you have outside lights that are very nice and just give you a lot of light at night. Coming over here, both sides you have these steps. These are really, really cool steps. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this step is it does come over and it sits right in front of the heater at night. So we had to kind of prop it up. But we do have a mod where we can take the step off for you and then give you a little step that just sets out here. And it's kind of nice is because at night, if you want to just jump out to use the restroom, you just step out here and you don't have to drop that down when you get out. The other side, you keep that step up and down during the night, and it's nice to have one of these steps. 2 of it I don't think is necessary. Let me put this stuff away and show you how this kind of goes up and folds out of the way. Yeah, see, I got all my soaps and everything, some rags, and then this just kind of folds right up out of the way. And that goes into there. You also have a towel. And this is, I mean, like, look at this towel. Watch this. This thing has so much storage, and it's so just user friendly of the storage. And look at this. You can go all the way down. I guess I should have folded it 3 ways, but it fits right into there. I could fit 2 in there if I wanted to. I just have to fold it better. But that goes in like that. You also have another one right here. This one I have toilet paper in because it's right next to the bathroom. Just miscellaneous. There's so much storage. Like, probably put the toilet paper in this one because it's more toilet paper, and put towels in that one and rags, whatever you want to do. Lots of different options. Moving over to here, we'll show you what this looks like stock. We have optioned it out. It does come with the HB 9000, which is a really cool floor-mounted AC furnace. The problem with that is it only works off of shore power, so you have no heat and you have no AC unless you're plugged in or running a generator. This is a 12-volt propane heater, and it's all ducted throughout the entire trailer. And we've also optioned this for an AC unit too, so you can actually have dual AC and heat, but it's all going to work much more efficiently off-grid with an inverter system. So you'll be able to run the heater off-grid, which is a must. It's absolutely a must. That heater is a must, without a doubt. I would choose just a heater over the heater and the AC, because typically AC is always shore power on campers. But we've set up where you can have off-grid heat very efficiently, and you can have off-grid AC very efficiently. So check that out with us. Okay, before we walk outside and out of this cool room, I just want to show you this incredible view. Check this out. I mean, we are on top of the world out here. It's so beautiful, it's so incredible. This is why you buy an off-road camper. It's for moments like this. This is what's cool. You know, to be a roamer, I like to say the definition of a roamer is somebody that wants to go to the off-beaten path where nobody else can get to. You know, to take roads that are less traveled, simply because most people don't have the proper gear to travel those roads. It's also a community of adventurers and people that want to have fun and get off grid and make friendships that last forever. It's so much more fun to make a friendship that lasts forever in a place like this. This is so cool. I will admit, I have not had a ton of experience with this awning yet. This camping trip is one of my first times putting the whole thing up, but I'm gonna just take it down and show you it's pretty easy. So there's a clip right there that pops out and that drops down. You wanna store the clips where you don't lose them, the pins. There's another one right here. Now, and you can lower the awning, so you can bring it down lower so it's easier to get to. There's a little clip right here because they clip to each other. That's kind of what gives them some stability. So I'm gonna unclip this side right here, like that. And it practically closes in on itself, actually. Let's go and clip this other side. Clip it right there. I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay, so this just clips right in there, and then of course you want to lock it in place. Same thing over here, back here. This just hinges up. Then right up there, and you want to lock that in, and just do that with all of them. That just clips all in, and so as you can see, it just kind of moves around pretty freely. So this one, the back, you put in first. And then this one, make sure they don't hit each other. The back goes in first, and then the front goes in. If you have a step stool at this point, it's a little bit easier, just because you can reach it. But you just grab this, and you just wind it up. Go as tight as you can. Yeah, so you gotta get this flap up and over, which I didn't at first. Like I said, it's good if you do have a little bit of a stool, so you can reach this up and over. If you make sure you have the clips out, then you roll it up. And once you roll it up to right there, you just clip it on right there. And you can cinch it up. Same thing right here, right there. Cinch it up, stuff this access up in here. Same thing over here. Cinch it nice and tight. It's really not that bad. And I've only done this I think this is my second time ever doing it, honestly. We're always camping with people, so sometimes one person's is putting up the awning, the other person isn't. You can see it's not too bad. Put the stairs up, get it out of the way, the door, shut the door. How long did that take? 5 minutes? 4 or 5 minutes, and that's the first time I've done it all by myself. I've done it with people, but the very first time I've ever done that all by myself, put it up, was right now. But there you go, easy. Let's move to the front. Right up here, you have these lockable latches. Everything is super heavy duty. Those, when you spin them, they actually suck in, so they make the seal better. This is an automotive grade sill. Everything has metal backing latches where they lock in, so it's not just hitting the side of the frame. All this aluminum box is awesome. Check out inside here, you have your water system up front. You have the water pump, which is a C-flow, and it's a 2 gallon per minute. Has the filter strainer on the inlet. Down below the water pump, you have the accumulation tank. It's silly, every RV should have one of these. Most RVs do not. It's not standard in the US, it's not standard for Indiana, but you know, as you can see, they've done this on the Conqueror, which I really, really appreciate. You know, they've have this accumulator. It's going to put less wear and tear on your water system, your water pump. Also, it fills up, but there's like a bladder in it. So when you get pressure irregulation, most campers, you'll get little pulsates, like a little do-do-do-do every minute or 2 or 3.
this kind of eliminates that. The idea is to reduce that down. Also, something that's really important to look at is look at the connections on the actual water lines themselves. You can see this PEX hose pipe, but they actually have hose crimps with screws. A lot of times I see them using the very cheap plastic fittings, and they'll use like our shark bites to connect everything. They've actually used hose crimps. They do have some shark bites also throughout, but those hose crimps are just way more durable than all just shark bite stuff. I'm not a huge fan of shark bite. If you can replace most of the shark bite stuff, or the Gus fittings, whatever you use or whatever they're called, they're the same concept where they're easy for manufacturing, but for durability and strength, they're not good. Now check out this really cool shovel above us too. And this is standard, which is great because all the time I need a shovel. And here's the shovel. You can pull it out. It's just mounted in there very nicely. This, you just press up on this, and this little thing, it might be hard to do with one hand. There you go. It pops right out. Whoops, and it falls. If I had two hands, I would have been holding it. And you got your shovel. Look at that. And then it just slides right back up in there and locks in there nicely. With two hands, it's way easier to do. Manageable with one, if you're good like me. Woohoo! Now let's go to the other side and check out this Airbag Man tank. So before we open this door, check this axe out. This comes standard also, which is very cool. And when we came up here, we forgot to actually pack a hammer, and we used this to nail in all the stakes, which is convenient. Here you have your Conqueror off-road air system. This is your Airbag Man. That's who makes the compressor, the tank, and all of the actual system. This shows you your PSI, so you can put these up or down. Once you use the air out of the tank, it will start, the compressor will kick on and start blowing up. The ride with an airbag system is so much better than just regular shocks. I mean, we're talking the US solid axles, then you get into shocks and coils. Now we're at airbags. And just when you get to the camp, you have no idea. We pulled in here late at night. It was dark. To level, driving on blocks, especially when we're on top of a hill, a mountain, it's so nice just to press with a button, just level side to side. Really, really, really convenient. I absolutely love this. It also comes with a nice little bag full of tools and equipment. So here you go. The nice thing about having that tank and the air pump on board is not just for your bags, but also you have a setup right here. Let's put this one down, do one at a time. You have that, and then you have your little tool, and that will reach to the tires, and check that out. And then it kicks on. I'll turn it off so it doesn't get so noisy, but there you go. Convenient to have all of this setup right here. So when you're out off-roading and you want to air down your tires, and you can air down these tires a little bit because they're load range E, they're rated at 37, I think it's 3,700 pounds per tire. You know, that's at 80 PSI, which is what's recommended for highway and towability. But when you get off-road and you want a little bit more of a comfort ride, you have airbags, but you can also let some pressure out of your tires. Or if you just need to check your tires, from temperature change, make sure you're running the right PSI while you're on the highway, you can do that. And you don't have to pull into a gas station or have a compressor at your house. You got everything on board with you. Really, really, really cool system. We're familiar with this system. We've done lots of mods on other trailers that were just coil over, and we've turned them into the airbag system. So thank you, Conqueror. Okay, now let's move over here. It does have a cap to cover it, protect it when you're driving off-road. This is your propane quick disconnect when you're pulling your kitchen out and cooking with it. And I'm gonna show you how to I'm gonna put this back in here. It's a nice, good spot to put it, is right here. But I'm gonna close off the kitchen and show you how easy that is to do. Shut this up, really nice and easy. This comes down, lays flat right there. Your sinks, I'm gonna lay them out here to dry for now. And then
I'll stow them away. This little guy closes right there. Check everything. I'm gonna leave these unlocked because I want to show you. We're not traveling anywhere. I'm just showing you how it closes. But you can access the fridge on the inside, but it's easier if you leave those unlocked. Now, this thing just slides right in. And I love that the only thing you have to disconnect is that propane. That's it. And then this goes up and locks in right there. There you go. All locked up. Okay, underneath this is the table that also duals as a wall inside, which I really, really like. You have the canvas and little pockets where you can stow stuff and just hang out. This table is a little bit lower than most tables, but for a camp chair, it's actually perfect. Over there, we have the solar panel set up. We have solar panel set up here. It comes stock with 2 separate solar panels, and it uses the Anderson connection, and it strings out. I haven't measured it, but I mean, a good 20 to 30 feet. So it's nice because you can set these out and get good charge wherever you're at. Now let's move up to the front area and talk a little bit about the hitch system and the propane tanks. This hitch, which is the D35, or we can option it with one of the best hitches in the world, with the McHitch, which I prefer. It's easier to hook up. This one works as well too. Right here, this is the tongue that lifts up and down. This thing stows away. So I'll show you when we hook up the truck, this comes out and stows up here in transit. You have the 7-pin for your brakes and lights, and then you have your Anderson plug, which is to charge from your vehicle. All galvanized steel chassis. These chains are massive D-rings, which is the most secure, safest connection you can have. This right here is your tanks for your propane tanks. These do not take standard propane tanks. I was watching a video yesterday, and the guy said they were like 20 pounders, 30 pounders. They're 11 pounders is what fits in there perfectly. You might be able to take it apart and squeeze something bigger in there, but the stock is 11 pounders. Over here, I want to show you something. Okay, most campers, I recommend you always drain out your water tanks when you're done camping. No matter how often you go, you don't want old stagnant water in there. Maybe every other week. If you're going on a trip every weekend, maybe not, but for the most part, I drain out all the time if it's more than a week. And look at this. That's how you drain out. This is your low point drain valve, which is so nice and convenient. You could use this as like a bucket filler and get water. It's just gravity from your tanks. Or you can just pull this out and drain all your water out on the ground. Most trailers, you gotta crawl under there and there's some screw that you have to deal with, and it's just a nuisance. Right here, the access, really nice and convenient. You also have a handbrake, which will break your wheels so you don't have to chalk them or throw rocks to hold them in place so it's not rolling away. That's really convenient. But let's head on inside this camper and show off how cool it is. Well, hello. Step comes down. We do have a modification where we've removed this step and give you a little step stool, which both sides kind of fall down, and I think it on one side is sufficient, this side not so much. Plus you have to lift it up when you close the doors, which is kind of a nuisance. On one side, that's okay. On this side, we take it out because this is the bathroom side, so if at night you need to jump out really quick, you don't have to deal with this step stuff. Plus this does cover the vent for the heater that we've upgraded into it. But as I come in, I'll take my shoes off to keep it nice and clean inside. I do want to show this off a little bit. I may look tall. I'm only 6 feet, which I know is above average, but as you can see, tons and tons of headroom in here. So if you're 6 foot plus, you're going to be very, very, very comfortable in this trailer. So let's walk over here and talk a little bit about what we got going on in here. Okay, here we are inside of the 490. This couch is really big and comfortable too. This is the Urban Escape Vehicle 490. Very, very comfortable in here. Now, I will tell you, I will be frank, my first time seeing it, first of all, I think it's one of the coolest looking trailers on the outside. Bar none. I don't think there's a trailer in the world. I mean, people will argue Bruder, but I'm pretty sure they actually have modeled Conqueror. Remember, Conqueror's been around 30 years. All of these other manufacturers in Australia, most of them are not even hitting 10 years. You have some at 20, but this, I think, is the coolest trailer. Coolest looking trailer on the outside. Now, the inside, I will admit, it's very masculine, right? It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a tank, but it is very comfortable. And I think any guy that's gonna walk into this is just gonna go, ooh, ah, ah. The ladies, maybe you might be like, this is kind of, you know, military, but the practicality of this camper is so good. Everything functions, and it is very comfortable. It does have some very nice features for anybody. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, bed. The reason why you buy a camper, in my opinion, the number one reason is the bed. This is like one of the most frustrating thing about most manufacturers is they don't get this. It's bathroom and bed, because you're sick and tired of pitching a tent and sleeping on the ground. So you want somewhere more comfortable. And I will tell you, when it comes to the comfort of this bed, it is one of the most comfortable beds I have ever slept on. This actual foam, you can't quite see it, but it's like an eggshell foam, and it's very soft at the top, but it also has some firmness in it. It's very, very thick, I think 5 to 6 inches. I'll set that up for you in just a little bit and show you how comfortable this is. But another thing I want to talk about this camper is the storage. The amount of storage in this camper is pretty phenomenal. Storage here, storage here. Now let me open some of these things up and kind of show you how it works. So it does, you know, some people might be like, it's like canvas and Velcro and zippers. Is that kind of cheap? I mean, it's good enough for the military, right? It should be good enough for us. Now, the nice thing about it is it's very light. And when you don't have hinges, I mean, think about it. Wood is very heavy. When you don't have the wood, it's much lighter. But also, you don't have hinges. You don't have latches to fail. So there's a lot of points that won't fail. And I know some people, I think an owner of it has once said, like, dude, as long as you shut it, zip it up, nothing ever moves. Nothing ever falls out. We've taken this on some pretty rough trails already, and nothing has come out. These have not opened up. But the amount of storage in this trailer is just superb. I mean, it's just, the more and more you start digging, opening things, I don't even know what to do with all of it. You could do a month-long excursion in this. I know some people are living in it. You can ask them. But I know you could easily do a month-long excursion and have everything you need. The only thing you would have to stock up regularly would maybe be food and do your laundry, whatever. But you actually probably have enough space in here to have laundry for over a week or maybe 2. Lots and lots of storage. I'm going to open some of these and just kind of show it off to you. So come over here and check this out. These storage compartments are huge. Now this light does actually swivel, so you can see what's inside there. I don't know if you can tell, but this is pretty deep. This is, you know, almost my entire forearm, right? This is my elbow with my fist closed. This is a queen size blanket. This is a king size blanket. I mean, it goes in pretty deep, and you have all the way to here. Now I do like that if you come over here and look at this one, I do like that they've actually separated. They actually have a divider in between this one and that one. You'll get into some campers and they skimp and they get cheap and they don't actually do a divider, and so things are sliding all over the place. And it's nice to have separate compartments, because you can say, this is yours, this is mine, and you kind of just organize things. I mean, this is kind of an idea. Look, because it looks like a tank, we got Battleship to play. But I mean, I just wanted to bring these to put these in so you could see real size. I mean, and look at that. I mean, like, you get it, it's like, there's just so much space in these things. When I was out camping in this last, I actually used this as my dirty clothes hamper, and I had this with my bedding, my blankets, and then over here, check this side out, over here I had all my clothes. This is 3 shirts right here. So this is kind of like, you get an idea of how much space is in here. But when you're in transit, obviously, just close it up and it's not moving anywhere. Coming over here, we got a huge sweater, goes all the way around. This is the outside shower on the outside. So that's what that little piece is there. But coming over to the other side, come check this out. I don't even know what to put in half of these. I'm telling you, like, you can go for a long excursion and just like have almost what it feels like infinite amount of storage. Down here, you do have a little USB, and you have this on both sides for miscellaneous stuff, cell phones. Now, this right here is the kitchen area. As you can see, You can access this from inside or out. And we've kind of just like thrown stuff here so you can kind of see, but you can really squish stuff and just get tons and tons of things in this compartment. And it works on all levels, as you can see. You can work your way all the way down. If you want even to get this stuff down here, you know, I got my skinny pop. There you go. It's really convenient when you're out camping at night. You don't want to go outside to get to the kitchen stuff. You can just reach through here. It's nice to have that accessibility from both sides. As a matter of fact, that reminds me of the fridge. So let's go over, jump back inside and show you the fridge too. So if you are, you know, having that late night crave and you grab your snack, next thing you want is a drink. So the cool thing about this is you can pull this up and you can actually access the refrigerator right here. Nice and convenient. I actually have used this every single night because I want to grab a drink of water before going to bed. And it is nice because this bed does Velcro to this. So when you are sleeping on it, it's not sliding all over the place. It's pretty good. It sticks really nicely to that. But I want to come back over into this area and continue moving towards the front. Just more storage. And we're kind of putting this to kind of display it. But I mean, if you really wanted to pack stuff in, it's just like you could really get a lot of stuff into this camper. Little convenient shelves here. I want to talk a little bit about this whole entire area. This is your management system with an infographic. If you can see this, this is very easy to use. It's simple. You do have your battery percentage and it's 0 to 100%. You have your water percentage at 0 to 100%. These seem to be pretty accurate. I have been using it and I've noticed them kind of going up and down really well. It has a temperature. This is outside. You also have an inside temperature here. You can see the inside as well. That's actually set at it. Well, no, that's actually, it shows the temperature and then you can set it. But here you have then another temperature here, and then you have your battery. It says we're at 12.8 volts, and it says that we're draining 1.30 amps per hour. And when you plug in, there's another little line that shows your solar's plugged in, and it shows how many amps are coming in to your battery. You also have these little buttons here that will actually change the system. This tells you your battery size, and you can like adjust all of these things if you want to get into the technical stuff, right? You can put a warning voltage on your batteries, so you can change when it to start beeping at you. You also have water levels, and you can just go through here. You can change the language if you want to. So you do have the battery size. You have 205 amp hour AGM batteries. If you wanted to get bigger batteries, you can change it out and adjust everything accordingly. Really, really cool little system right here. This is your main battery disconnect. Here is your fuse box, and it's encased in this protective cover. And over here you have your light switches, your water pump, your fridge, your media outlets, and external outlets. So those outlets, these media outlets, turn on all of your, USB ports, which you have a bunch here. You have a 12 volt one here. You have 4 USBs, so you can be charging until your heart is content or until your batteries die. But we got solar panels, so your batteries will only be dead for a little while. And then you have your burger panel, and this is all enclosed in here. That's for all of your 120 system. Okay, moving down here, this is your solar charge controller. This is a PWM 30 amp. Once again, here at ROA, we like to make things unique and for you, and we really are a custom mod shop. And that's something unique that most dealers don't do in America. We don't even like to call ourselves a dealer. We're more of an experiential adventure company. But we can remove this, put an MPPT in it, especially if you're gonna upgrade your batteries. It's better to have a more efficient solar charge controller. And we could also do that, take out the AGMs and go to lithium, give you more power. Inside here, behind the wall, you have your charge controller, which is the NOCO, and it's the Gen Pro series. And you have a nice 120 outlet. This only is gonna work on shore power, so you're gonna have to be plugged in. Once again, we do have an upgrade available to get an inverter, and that inverter would run this off-grid, and it would also be able to run the AC system off-grid that we're setting up. Now, moving up to this spot, this is your propane heater. Now, it does not come stock with a propane heater. There's just some regulations coming into the United States with Conqueror. They have to redesign some stuff. But in the meantime, ROA Off-Road does offer a propane off-grid heater.
We also offer an AC heater combo for off-grid. Normally it comes with the HB 9000, which is 120 only shore power, furnace, and AC. But this works off-grid, and it is phenomenal. We've been in 30-degree weather, and this has been running and keeping the entire trailer nice and toasty, and it's all ducted throughout, which is really nice. I'll show you the ducts up here. You have a duct next to the bed over here, and right above it you also have USB ports so you can plug in, and then also have heat. You also have another set of USB ports on the other side, and right there you have another heat duct, and then there's also one right by the entryway, the door. So there's 3 different ports that are ducted. And so once the heater's all kicked on, it's ducting throughout the whole trailer, and it stays nice and warm. I've been very, very happy with this Propex upgrade that we're offering. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about this really cool CD and DVD player. So when you're on your way off grid, you'll want to stop at Blockbuster Video, rent yourself a DVD, and well, watch movies while you're off grid. There is a little port here, so if you do have that old-fashioned port, you can plug in and play stuff off of your telephone. But seriously, it is nice that there is a DVD player. We've had these campers in the past where it is a Bluetooth, but it's not a DVD player, and it doesn't work through the TV. The cool thing is this does work through the TV. So if you do have, all joking aside, if you do have DVDs, you can use them. We do actually have Disney DVDs. And you know, when it's cold out night and you still want to hang out at the campfire, but our little girl wants to come in and play inside, sometimes we'll throw a movie on for her. So it is nice for those evenings. But ROA can also rip it out and throw in a new updated one that plays Blu-rays and is Bluetooth or mirrors to the TV. The TV does have an HDMI, so you could use a cable for your phone and play movies through the TV. But now the nice thing about running it through the stereo system is you do have speakers all throughout. So you do have that surround sound speaker. This is a luxury that some people don't care about because you're off grid and you don't want to watch TV. But a lot of people do want to watch TV here and there, you know, especially if, you know, the weather is not good. It is nice to have this set up where you can have some comforts, right? And this thing kind of moves in a lot of different directions. You can put it right there. You can bring it to this side over for this bed, or you can kind of stow it out of the way. A convenient feature to have. The other thing I want to talk about is the lights. I think I saw a comment recently, somebody calling the Conqueror a bat cave because they said it was very dark inside. Obviously, when you're out camping and you open up all of these windows, it's actually very, very bright inside. The lights that come stock with the trailer are not the brightest. That is true. I'll give them that. But we've already upgraded these lights. This light right here that you see is actually twice the size of the stock light. You can kind of see the stock light over here still is pretty small. And we've upgraded this one to a much larger one, and the one in the back, and it's actually doubled the brightness in the trailer, and it's a really easy, inexpensive upgrade if that's what you wanted to do. One last thing I want to mention about this whole panel here. Some campers are not made to work on, and you need to. You always need to. When you're off-roading, when you're going places, you want to be able to have the ability to get into stuff. Now, these are all screws with washers, and you can unscrew these. This one's loose, the only one. I couldn't actually get these ones. I'd need a wrench or something. But it's really important that if you do have an issue and you are out on the road, some campers, like the way they put them together, they're kind of made for the junkyard, which is unfortunate. I don't believe that's how things should be made. I think things should be made to last forever or generations. And when you don't take into considerations ways to open up and get inside to fix or service, that's that mentality some manufacturers have. They just want you to throw it away and come and buy a new one. A good manufacturer is always going to give you a way to access components somewhat easily so that you can fix it. Here at ROA, you know, we have roamers, people that buy campers from us all over the country. And a lot of times things can be fixed pretty easily via our roamer tech line. When you buy a camper from us, this is exclusive to only people that work with us. We give them the special tech line. You have an issue, you text in to this guy, his name's Sam. That's his full-time job, is to get on there and respond and try to help you diagnose things. And a lot of times our experience is that anywhere from 70 to 80% of the issues can actually be resolved with some good guidance. And through that tech line, you'd be surprised. He says, well, check this and this and this. And he's usually got you on the road. So if you're out somewhere
you know, it's not convenient to have to grab your camper and drag it into a dealership. And then they're usually booked out weeks, right? Especially in the middle of the summer, everybody's booked out. That's something just unique that ROA does that I've never heard of anybody doing. Like, I think that we're the first ones to be doing anything like that. We even do videos. If we're having a hard time with pictures and text, we'll try to get a video and duplicate the problem and fix it for you and send you a video. And we also have an exclusive Roamer video library where just teaching you how to do upgrades, how to use the campers, walkthroughs, all kinds of stuff. So it is really important to be able to service your campers easily. Now, moving over to here, we have more storage. You would have never guessed, right? Storage and storage and more storage. I got some toiletries there. I just want to kind of give you an example of how big this is. This is a large laptop, has the keypad, so you can see how big that is. And that fits perfectly in there. I don't even really know what you'd put in this yet. I've been camping multiple times in this, but it's only been for a few days at a time. At some point, I'm gonna do a expedition, probably longer expedition, and I'll figure out what to put in all of these storage compartments because there's tons. There's my hammock. Coming over to here on the back side of the door, I do wanna show you this. So during the day when you're camping, or even at night, if you don't want the bugs or the mosquitoes, the midges, the flies, you do have a nice little screen. If you don't want to use the screen and you want to shut the door. Now, I would recommend removing this step. And like I said, I would keep this on the other side, but I would remove this side and then you can just shut the door. And that locks in. And once again, you have tons and tons of pockets, right? We got our toilet paper. The reason why is because when you open this up, it's right next to the bathroom, the toilet setup that you saw. You know, we got our towels for showers and whatever. That opens up. Got my flashlight. On our last trip, I just had everything here. All my toiletries, my deodorant. I do wear deodorant for the sake of the cameraman. He doesn't want to smell me. Anyway, and this is the same thing on both sides. So on this door over here, you know, you move the TV out of the way, and this is where your wine would go. If you do that, oh, we still got waters from last time. Forgot to take those out. So yeah, grab your nice water. I mean, I would put it in the fridge, keep it nice and cool, and you have more panels down there. And now, look at this bed. This bed is absolutely beautiful. The camper sleeps 4 comfortably, 2 kids here easily, and 2 adults here. You could squeeze in 4 adults if you wanted to. Like I said earlier, these are some of the most comfortable beds I have ever slept on. Just sitting here relaxing at the table, reading a book. I'm in this section called Challenge Your Paradigms. Anyway, I don't know if I pointed out this area. This is my little library. There's so much space, so much storage. Look at my little world globe. I don't even know what to do. I need to like put fillers in or something just to utilize all the storage. Now I want to talk a little bit about this table. This is a sweet table. You saw it outside earlier, part of the kitchen area if you want to take it out. Since we've been camping, I've had it out there for the last few nights, and we have the other little table that it comes with all those pockets that's built on the wall right here. We had that table setting out where we were eating on, and then this one we were using as a prep table. But I want to show you how this makes into a bed. First you unlatch that up there, and then this leg, it's adjustable, so it goes up and down. You're gonna fold this down right here, and then there's these little straps right here. And then there's a little square piece right here that I stowed away. And this is gonna come up here, and it's gonna fit in right there. And then this is gonna come down. This is gonna fit in right here. And I know that comes out pretty far, and there's a little gap right here. But these come up, there's these little legs that come up, and it actually drops down. Let me show you actually how that works so you can see it better. This folds up, and then there's a little leg right here. And then now this guy comes down and sits it right here. And it is all Velcroed in, so it holds it nice and sturdy. And then these guys come out, and as you can see, there's some Velcro right there, and that's to line up right here. And then you grab this one, same thing, Velcro right here,
And then just the last piece right here. And then that goes in right there. And it Velcro's nice and tight. And then you throw down some sheets on this and go to bed. And you will have a fantastic sleep. Very, very comfortable. I love this bed. You don't believe me? Ask Michael, ask Jordan, our camera guy, ask anybody who actually owns one of these things. And everybody will tell you the beds are very, very comfortable. And that's really key. Like, the most important part of camping is getting a good night's sleep. So when you wake up, you're energized, you're ready to conquer the day, right? Have a lot of fun, go out hiking, fishing, whatever you do, you want to be rested and you want to be energized for the day. Really, really cool camper, everyone. I love this camper. The quality on it is really, really high. I've been pulling things apart while I was camping in it. Underneath this bed, I lifted up, I removed some of the access panels to see where the batteries were. You know, the batteries are on each side of the wheel well. So they've gone into a lot of planning when it comes to balancing the trailer out from side to side. I mean, you even have 2 doors on each side, right? So it's very well balanced out. The air system just makes it travel so smooth. You know, speaking of paradigms, I'd like for you to have a paradigm shift when it comes to your camping. When you're out, I know a lot of people watching this video are probably looking to go out and buy a camper. I'm doing a tour of a camper. We'd love for you to come and buy it from us. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you do or don't. It just matters that you go out and go camping and have fun. A camper is a tool, and by using that tool, you can get out and enjoy nature. And it's one of the easiest, most comfortable ways to enjoy nature. And so have a shift and don't focus so much on the camper itself, but focus more on what the camper can do for you. It's all about the experience. I get some people where they're so set on a certain camper or a certain brand, and it's just a tool. The main reason why you want it is so that you can go out camping, because the worst thing you can do is come and buy one of these things and then let it sit in your garage or next to your house and just rot. The point is, you got to go out, you got to camp, you got to enjoy. And I think that's something that makes ROA different than anybody else in America. Like, there is nobody out there doing the things that we do. It's not just selling a camper, it's an experience. It's Roamer Adventures, it's the Roamer Rally, it's all of those things, because our goal is to support you so that you'll actually go camping, so you'll actually utilize what you get. Because if you don't, there's no point in getting it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have learned something. If there's something that I missed, because there's a lot of things in these, I know these are long, but there's so many details to go over, make a comment below. Ask any questions. We'll do a video for you specifically if there's something you want to see. Don't forget, Shane here with RVs of America. Give us a call, text us, 801-860-0035. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.